Hello, right, I'm going to do a quick video here just to show you how to make a beeswax paste that you can mix with oil paint. All you're going to need to make this stuff here, nice pasty, waxy, lovely smelling stuff. All you're going to need is some beeswax, so I've got it in the form of these beads here. Type in beeswax beads on eBay and you'll get options to buy a bag of this kind of stuff. And we're going to just dissolve that with a solvent. So this is pure gum turpentine that I'm going to use. You can use a non-toxic thing like Zest It or an equivalent. So I'm going to show you a quick video just how I've mixed that up, kind of the whole process of it, and then we'll do a little bit of mixing with oil paint at the end of the video just to see the application and how we might use it. The jar. Okay, what I'll do for now, we'll do a wee bit more. So, load of the beads in, and then I'm going to add a solvent. So I'm going to use pure turpentine here, but pure turpentine is a little bit toxic. Okay, so you can use like your Zest It or whatever non-toxic solvents that you have. It'll do the same thing. It'll dissolve this beeswax. So I'm going to pour in, I'm going to bring it up to about the level here of the beads. Okay, so there you can see the turpentine at the top, and then we might have to, well, I'll add a wee bit more actually in there. We'll probably have to feed in a wee bit more turpentine as we go. Okay, but that, and I'm going to put my lid on. And there is my mix. Right, big warning with this, okay, is that turpentine is very flammable. Any of your solvents are going to be flammable, okay? So don't get this anywhere near a flame or it'll go up. So I suggest you can just leave it now in that, and it will like slowly dissolve the beeswax beads or the little chunks of beeswax. If you get a big bit and break it up, it will just dissolve it slowly. Or you can put it like on the top of a warm radiator, and the heat will melt the beeswax a bit quicker, and it'll dissolve into that turpentine. Right, so that's been a day. I've left this these beeswax beads in with the turpentine, and you can see already we're starting to get a nice paste, but there's still quite a few of those beads in there. So I'm just going to give it a good mix. And this is without any heat or anything. It's just the turpentine, the solvent has dissolved the beads. So I think it can go a wee bit further. I can still feel the beads in there, so it could go a wee bit further before I can use it. It's still quite thick. So I'll get a wee bit more turpentine. Should add that at the ready. Get a wee bit more turpentine. Put a wee bit more turpentine in there. So, and we'll talk about consistency and stuff once this is fully dissolved. Right, so here we are after a couple of days. So I've actually been away for a couple of days, and this paste, I've left this paste just on my desk, and you'll see now it's completely, those beads have completely dissolved into this paste, and it's made us a really nice kind of buttery texture stuff. Okay, so that's the basis there for your beeswax paste that you can use with oil paint. Now what you can do with this, you can make different consistencies of it, right? So I could take a lump of like this out, put it in another jar and mix it with some more turpentine so it's like a runny mix. Or you could mix it with some turpentine and some boiled linseed oil, and it'll give you like an oily runny mix that won't kind of dry as quickly. It'll have like the usual effect that linseed oil would have on paint. So I could even just put some linseed oil in with this paste and give it a mix, and that's obviously going to give it a bit more of a luster, a bit more of a shine, and it'll make it, you know, make it dry a little less quickly. Just make it less waxy. But you can play around with the mixes of those three, okay? With the beeswax, with the turpentine, with the boiled linseed oil. All those things can kind of be mixed together and then mixed with the paint. So I'm just going to show you the effect of this directly with paint. So I've got some colour here and a board here. So painting, I'll put a wee bit of this paste. This is what I would do. I would have a palette, right, and just have a bit of the paste on the palette alongside my colours. I'll just show you like a direct painted mark is there, okay, and then paint with, I'm going to get a bit of this paste and just mix it in. So it's quite a lot. You can just use a tiny little bit and you'll find it has quite an effect. I mix that in with the paint. So you'll feel it straight away. It makes the paint feel very kind of waxy and, like I said, closer to like a Sennelier oil pastel kind of texture. Right, I'll get some of this on my brush just to show you next to this. So I hope you can see the painted mark there. Just hold it up to the camera a little bit. So you should be able to see that this one's got a shine to it. It's more oily, and this one is just that. It's got that kind of waxy, dry feel. Okay, and then the nice thing is, I don't have another brush here, but there's a wee brush. When you come to take another color, so this is just directly with, now let's mix. I'm not very well organized here, am I? I'll mix a wee bit of paste in with this color on my palette. Okay, and see, if I'm painting on top of here, a few marks and that'll start to mix on the surface. Okay, so the surface, there's kind of surface mixing happening there. When I mix, I need a rag here. When I paint on top of the one that has wax in it, it'll sit on top of it in a different way. So it doesn't mix as much on the surface there as this one, just because it's got this, like you're layering wax on wax. So it just makes your wet surface with oil paint a bit more manageable, which is quite nice. So even there, like mixing like that, there's just not as much mixing that will happen with this. You see how the color mixes there? So it just allows you to layer oil paint a bit more easily. So I would use this with students quite a lot in class. If we're doing like a one-day oil painting class, then it allows them to paint wet on wet a little bit easier. So there you go. That's a wee demo of how to make that beeswax paste and just the effect it has mixing it with oil paint.